But nonetheless, I was just struck by how, I don't know what the right, I almost like for me, like nationalism, because I come from the left, from the radical left, and we would code our socialist yearnings as the public interest.
Yes, of course.
Ralph Nader kind of took all of the Chomskyan left-wing views of the early 60s and packaged them for moderate. He kind of made it all seem very reasonable, and the environmentalists did the same thing. So the brilliance of the left in general, but the radical left in particular, was of just cross-dressing as mainstream issues.
Exactly.
So it became... So really what is a socialist movement became a consumer rights, public interest, the women's rights movement.
Yep.
And you get these really radical ideologies. I mean, I'm just obsessed with this, the ways in which so Marxism, you look back on it, I was like, wow, I can't believe the things I believed in. Marxism has this idea that the capitalists, what's distinct about them is that they're just super greedy and they're thieves and that they're stealing from their workers. And there's really no difference. Entrepreneur, the capitalist entrepreneur like Elon Musk or Thomas Edison or Henry Ford, and their workers. They're just meaner and they steal from them. And it's just an amazingly audacious lie, because whenever you go and actually study an entrepreneur, what's incredible is that it's not just that it's not like they're the best at what they're doing. They're the best at 12 different things.
Exactly.
Genius. Yes. And Schumpeter comes along, and then the other big lie, and then Schumpeter points it out, is that the owner of the company and the workers have the same fundamental interest. In other words, Elon Musk's employees and Elon have the same interest. They want to expand their markets. They want to expand their products. Yeah. So to put them opposed is just it's so dishonest, and it's so reminiscent of what you could say feminism or radical feminism, but this idea that the interests of women are opposed by men, that women and men have different interests. And of course, you trace it back, it all goes back to Simone de Beauvoir,
of course,
who's a Marxist writing in the post-war period. I guess it was like the 40s. Her book came out, The Second Sex. But she's just taking this totally idiotic Marxist framework and applying it to women and men.
It's the biggest lie, because it ignores the very obvious symbiosis. It's not possible for them to exist apart, and it's not possible to continue the species. It's so dumb that they need each other. That actually power is exerted in very subtle but powerful ways within a relationship between a man and a woman that are not at all described or even acknowledged, right?
It's the basis of life itself.
Of course.
So it is really, you trace back the emergence of nihilism. It really is in Marxism, it's in feminism, and then they successfully cross-dress for decades, and they get so good at it. This is the famous Long March through institutions, or what they call cultural Marxism. But they basically dress themselves up as, basically civil rights. Because once you get equal rights, the work is done. Same thing with gays and lesbians.
Right.
But then the radical left activists then go and grab all those trappings. Because we started the conversation, this may seem like a digress, but it's important, I think, for normies and everybody to understand that, it took a long time for me to get it, but it was right. The people that call themselves environmentalists are actually just radical leftists, slightly different from Marx, because they're actually into Malthus, this totally dystopian. But the genius of the left is that they are so successful at masking their real agenda behind something else. We just want equality for people of color. We just want to create equal opportunity for migrants. No, their agenda is the destruction of civilization.
I know.